Hi Barbies, hi Kens, hi Allans, hi everybody else who didn't see the Barbie movie and thus doesn't know about the new gender trinary. I'm a bit late to the party, but I had to get my outfit right. Alright, let's get this over with. Atomic bombs are bad. I didn't see Oppenheimer. I cry at every episode of Bluey. I am not the target demographic for Oppenheimer, but to make up for it, I saw Barbie twice. Come on, let's walk to Barbie Land from here. Asteroid City. I felt like Wes Anderson was trying to tell me something, but that might have been stop thinking I'm always trying to tell you something. I liked it though. Here we are in Barbie Land, a walkable country where I have my dream job of beach, and you always know everyone's name. Let's get into it. Allegories. You remember allegories? I feel like I just talked about them. Groundwork. Oh, hi Barbie. We're about to get to the allegory part. You know allegory? Like, of the cave? I did! Let me be explicitly clear with what an allegory is. An allegory is not what the movie is, it's what the movie is saying, if you think with your thinky brain. Let's find out what today's allegory will be. It's the allegory of the cave! You know, like the allegory of the cave? Real quick rundown of the allegory of the cave for those of you unfamiliar, in case you didn't take an entire college course on it like I did. One day Plato was like, wouldn't it be so messed up if a bunch of people were chained up in a cave forced to watch a shadow puppet show? And that was all that they knew about life? And then one day one of them was let out of the cave to see what real life was actually like, and they were like, whoa. They were like, whoa, that's basically the allegory of the cave. And then if that person were to go back and be like, people chained up in the cave, this isn't real, they'd be like, shut up. Yawn, not pink enough. Let's do a Barbie retelling of the allegory of the cave. Barbie and Ken have lived their whole lives in Barbie Land, never wanting anything more and never realizing that what they're experiencing isn't reality, it's a reflection of reality, a shadow, if you will. Until one day that reality creeps in by way of our Barbie and her flat feet. She's then forced to go out into the real world, out of the cave and into the direct sunlight, and learn what real life is really like. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's horses. But after being in a cave your whole life, direct sunlight is gonna hurt. Ouch, ouch, hot. Ken's hurt by the real world, because it can't even beach here. So Ken goes back into the cave and turns it into a man cave, with all of his favorite stuff from the real world, like patriarchy and horses. Having left and returned, he knows that the reality of Barbie Land is just shadows. So he slots himself into that like projector's booth area and he begins to control the shadows. Meanwhile, Barbie finds the world beautiful. Truly beautiful. Like that one scene in Soul, beautiful. But at the same time, it's also complicated. So she wants to return to Barbie Land, to her simple life.
The first one, the high heel. No. We'll do a redo.
But it's not the Barbie Land she's left. It's been corrupted by Ken. And even if it wasn't, she's left the cave. She's Depression Barbie now. She could never be content in Barbie Land again. But at least she's able to show the Barbies of Barbie Land that their life has been shadows. She can't bring them all out of the cave, but she can at least turn them around to see the projector, so that they can understand that they have control over the cave even if they never leave it. And then Barbie talks to God? And becomes a real human to go live a real life outside of the cave with all of its complications. Great! What does the allegory of the cave tell us? One interpretation is that philosophers, or the people who get to leave the cave, are like so much better than those stupid idiot jerks who spend their whole lives watching their stupid idiot projections in their stupid idiot cave. Hello? There's a whole outside world out there? Duh. Yeah, that's right, I call us all stupid idiots. But another interpretation is that it's really easy to manipulate people if you have them chained up in a cave and force them to see whatever you want them to see. When you live in an insular community, it can be hard to imagine that there's any other way of living. But by seeking knowledge, by leaving Barbie Land, You can see what life is like outside of your cave. When you're able to do that, it makes it easy to see that your small world is not the whole world. And in turn allows you to question the projections, the laws, the walls of your small world. It's a small world? You know, like, why do we say the Pledge of Allegiance in schools, and why isn't God we trust on our money?
I don't control the railways or the flow of commerce.
Anyways, don't get brainwashed by men and horses. We're all in caves watching projections, and it just helps to know who's in that projection booth. It's Mattel. But at least Greta Gerwig is in there too. Put a pin into this thought, we're gonna come back to it. For now, I'm done with the overarching plot. I'm sick of talking about Barbie. I think it's time we talk about Barbie. And I think it's time for a costume change.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey.
Barbie goes through an arc that I like to call the extraordinary ordinary. Y'all ever seen Pippin? She is perfect. She is everything. And so is everybody else. Actually, our stereotypical Barbie several times wishes that there was a more extraordinary Barbie handling the plot.
I'm not adventure Barbie. I'm stereotypical Barbie.
While other Barbies are Barbie and a doctor, she's just Barbie. Because she's stereotypical Barbie and she has to be representative of every woman. Which means just being a woman. Not every woman is a doctor, but every woman is Barbie. Gosh, seemingly that's a lot of pressure because Barbie is perfect. And in this movie, our Barbie also goes through those pressures of trying to live up to her expectations of what a Barbie should be and failing. But it's not really failing. She's just being a woman with doubts and depression and cellulite. Barbie goes through this movie thinking that she has to be perfect, that she has to be a symbol, but really, she just has to be. And that's extraordinary in itself. Sitting in a bus station, listening to the trees, hearing someone laugh, worry, grow old, be young. It's all just life. And that's what life is about. Pippin doesn't need to light himself on fire in spectacular fashion, he just needs to live. In case you've seen Pippin. Okay, calm down everybody. You wanna see me do it again? I'll do it again. Okay. Barbie was spending her whole life as her assigned gender, which, to be clear, canonically, is genderless doll, which is a gender, until she sees outside of her cave and she realizes that she's more of a human woman, which I think might also be a gender. I'm not sure on that one. I'm gonna have to look that up. My dudes, she has gender-affirming bottom surgery at the end. And even besides that, Barbie is trans. High Enough made sure that I knew that I wasn't being excluded from this movie, and honestly, I really appreciated that. Okay, now that that's all taken care of, can we talk about Barbie becoming a human? Like, is she dumb? She saw what the real world was like compared to Barbie Land, and she chose the real world? Could not be me. I'd like to take her vacancy in Barbie Land. Put me back in the cave. I love shadow puppet shows. Okay, now seriously, enough about Barbie. Let's get to this movie's true magnum opus. Ken.
Ken. It's me.
Hey, Greta, hey. The movie's called Barbie. Why did you go so hard on Ken's storyline? Ken has serious codependency going on. Ken doesn't exist without Barbie, and Barbie very exists without Ken. Ken doesn't know who he is outside of the context of Barbie.
But it's Barbie and Ken. There is no just Ken.
And he can only feel good about himself when he gets that external validation from Barbie. Ken is in a very one-sided relationship. But also, no he's not. He's in a zero-sided relationship. Because as much as Barbie isn't putting anything into this relationship, Ken isn't putting anything in either. He's only taking. The only way he interacts with this relationship is when he's trying to get that validation that he so desperately needs. And it all stems from the search of that perfect Barbie ideal. Barbie's not the only one trapped by societal expectations. Ken is too. All he knows is that he's supposed to be Barbie's boyfriend. And neither of them really knows what that means, and neither of them is fulfilled by the relationship. But it's what's supposed to happen, so they're in it.
Because we're girlfriend-boyfriend?
To do what?
I'm actually not sure.
That's the way that life is supposed to be.
Until he leaves Barbie Land and discovers there's another way of living. I mean, in Barbie Land, we don't know where the Kens go at night. He's very well living in a society where he's not allowed to have a house. So, yeah, when he's introduced to a society that treats him decently, even if it's at the detriment of the Barbies, of course he's gonna jump at it. God damn, is this about how radicalization happens? Wait, was capitalism the bad guy the whole time? Again? Ken jumps on the patriarchy because under that system was the first time that he was asked what time it was. It was the first time that he was shown any respect. And once again, it's just because it's all that he knows. It's all that he knows that was better than what he knew before. But even the meaning that he finds in the patriarchy is shallow and leaves him feeling empty. And really, he still only wants Barbie's validation. This is just the way he's trying to get it now. You know the phrase, when you love something, oppress it until it loves you. But in the end, he gets what he needs. What he truly needs. What we all truly need. A 6-minute long power ballad with excellent choreography that teaches us all about healthy male friendships. He learns that other Kens are not enemies, they're friends. He learns that there are other people in the world who aren't Barbie, even when half of the population is literally Barbie. Hi, Barbie! He gets the opportunity to talk to Barbie and discover that he doesn't need a good relationship with Barbie. He needs a good relationship with himself. To know that he is Kenough. To know that he is okay, which here means one Ken. First he found meaning in Barbie, then he found meaning in the patriarchy, and then he learns to find meaning in himself. When I first talked about Ken, I thought he was tragic, and then I thought more about it, and I thought he was just selfish. But now, it's really just that he's a victim of being a man. Toxic masculinity? Is that what non-trans girls would say? Ken doesn't know any better. He only knows that he's supposed to be Barbie's boyfriend, and then he thinks the only other option is patriarchy. But in the end, he learns of the better way for everyone, which is to love and accept yourself and not put your self-worth into the hands of somebody else. And he learns this, he accepts it, he embraces it, and he becomes at peace with himself in this world. He doesn't leave Barbie Land. He could have, but he's happy where he is now. Remember everyone, Ken says go to therapy.
You are killing the planet with your glorification of rampant consumerism.
Now that we've covered all of that, this movie is a projection in a cave too. This movie was made by Mattel. Mattel is in the movie, and they're positioned like they're gonna be antagonists, but then throughout the movie they get less and less teeth until they're tickle fighting each other. And it's like, duh, obviously Mattel wasn't going to be the bad guys. Their name was before the start of the movie. But what about in real life? Mattel in the projection booth says two things. One, buy our product, which worked. And two, doll movie, make money, make more doll movie. No one on the planet came out of this movie thinking, wow, I can't wait for Barbie 2, or, oh man, if only they did this with Polly Pocket. But there is one person who left the theater thinking, I think we should make 14 more movies based off of our properties. And that person was whoever Will Ferrell represented in this movie. 14 movies, including American Girl, Polly Pocket, Uno, and Viewmaster. You know, the personalized slide projector toy? I will say I'll watch the Wishbone movie though. I'd write the Wishbone movie. Spec script incoming. Mattel also taught us that when you give a director the chance to make a movie about women for everyone, that she will knock it out of the park. And when you spend like half of the entire budget of the movie on marketing, it gets marketed pretty well and works.
Are any women in charge?
Thank God Greta was also in that projection booth with them, because she literally made a movie that said, be wary of who's in the projection booth. Think about who is selling you the things that you see. If it's men, run away. Greta also taught us that it's okay to just be, and the joys of just being, even when the crushing state of the world around you feels like it has completely forsaken you and become outright hostile to your very existence. You're doing great, sweetie.
Sublime!
This movie is such a fun delight. The art department went off. Especially the costumes in this film are incredible. I want this, I want this. I wanted this so much that now I have it, I want this. I want this. My sincerest compliments to the wardrobe department. Y'all made my favorite part of the movie. Literally, I had to hold myself back from cheering every time I saw a new outfit on screen. It is such a creatively fulfilled piece. They had a look and style in mind, and they nailed it with every shot. Turns out art is not dead. It's just very sleepy and woke up for Barbie. This movie does camp so well that I think it wraps all the way around twice and back out of camp. Look at Ken surf. Look at this car crash. Look at this chase scene. I love this chase scene because you know it's a chase scene. It doesn't really matter what they're doing, so they're jumping around, having a goofy fun time because it's fun, it's camp. It literally doesn't matter what's happening in the chase scene as long as it communicates that it's a chase scene. But one thing I've been noticing while I've been editing this is Ryan Gosling's dedication to being the greatest clown I've ever seen. Most of the time when I'm skimming through these clips, I'm doing it without the sound on, and this guy still makes me laugh even when there's no sound. The way he just moves around, the things he does, they're just so funny. I just want to present this shrug and point out the way that he walks even before he gets grumpy. Compliments to you, Mr. Gosling. I think you've really blossomed into a full goose with this one. My first time watching it, I thought that some of the monologues were a little long, but once I saw it a second time, I went, no, this is good as is. My one real critique is at the end when they're like, oh, Weird Barbie, we shouldn't have called you Weird Barbie, we're sorry. And then like 12 seconds later, they're like, oh, Midge, I thought we discontinued you still. It just kind of feels like they missed a cleanup in the script where now that everyone's accepted because Barbie has existential dread, everyone's accepted because Barbie has existential dread. Weird Barbie's in, but Midge is still out. How's Allan doing? Should we talk about Allan? No. You loved him. I loved him. I don't have any nuanced takes about him. I think other people felt more attached to him and were like, yes, this is my gender, than I was. So I'm gonna leave that space open for other people to discuss. Maybe you can tell me what you thought about Allan. I feel like Allan is really easy to put whatever take you want onto him. He's like an everyman, or at least an everyman for people who went to see Barbie. Overall, I give it a 9 out of 10. Definitely worth a watch, but let's be real. You've already seen it. And if you haven't, why not? Be honest, why not? You afraid of watching a girl movie, tough guy? It's literally about Ken. Bye, Barbies! Did you hear about how Margot Robbie had her hair toned depending on what outfit she was wearing? I want that. Please go subscribe to my Patreon so that I can tone my hair to the outfit that I'm wearing that day. You can be the difference that we all want to see in the world, right? I'm a bit late to the party, but I had to get my outfit right. My outfit's not right. The little baby boy, here he is. You know, the personalized slide project. Keep on doing that. There's a big difference between being told about horses and being shown a photo of a horse and actually meeting a horse. They're terrifying. They're terrifying and huge. And everything you learn about them makes you more afraid of them. Yeah. I think this is almost there. Got it one more time. It's only taken us 7 minutes to get this one take. Now, Marina, have you been featured yet? Little baby. Meaner's cat is a cat. She is just a little baby cat. Meaners loves me so much today. What's she doing? This coat looks awesome. I get why he was doing it. This coat looks awesome. Oh my God. I'm gonna bring him real close.